After a long time, we are again starting our regular sessions of studying, and hopefully we will continue it for a longer period of time. And our today's session is also live on YouTube, and you can get the link on our Happy Gujarat WhatsApp group also, so you can check it out. And that is for those people who are at the distance, and they also will going to take advantage of it. So let's make a dhamakedar praram with a dhamakedar speaker, Dr. Dharmesh SAVAJ. Very dynamic and very practical homeopath, and he's having very good study and research also in homeopathic field. And as the name suggests, Dr. SAVAJ. Dr. SAVAJ means lion, sher. And lions are known for its roar, because you can heard it from the kilometers away. So what is roar? Roar signifies authority. So as the name suggests, our own lion is also having authoritative knowledge on materia medica. So that's why we had arranged a lecture on differentiation and rule in and rule out of 100 of medicine. It almost covers the mainly polycrest medicine. So I would request Dr. Dharmesh SAVAJ to take over and make a roar and make an impact on everybody's mind with a commendable knowledge.
अभी जाओ से नहीं तो आम ऊभी થઈ જશે તો આમ આવશે
Thank you, Dharmesh, for introduction. Good afternoon, all. Let's begin the session. Today's topic was
नेक्स्ट नीचे नेक्स्ट नीचे एकदम
finer differentiation of rules in and out of almost polycrest. I try to cover 100 remedies. Taking off the subject differentiation, many times bit point of confusion before prescribing. We have tried root case, proper history, derived to the totality of the symptoms. Then at the point we look into the repertoire totality, there are many remedies. And when bit of the confusion arises, when what to prescribe. ઘણી વાર જોયું છે after good case taking 10 હોમિયોપેથ પાસે 10 રેમેડી આવે. For totality, each human being is right on his own way, because each has his own concept and priorities to prescribe. But the law is we have to prescribe only one. So I try to make the as much as possible to cut short and they reach to the tip of iceberg to prescribe maximum out of minimum. So it will be privilege and honor to be a part of Happy Gujarat. I would like to thank Happy Gujarat team and my beloved friends. Guru, we have given an opportunity, courage, confidence to deliver these lectures. Thank you, friends. Of course, Master, a great man in himself, we have to follow, to which we are here as a homeopath. Meaning himself from more than 250 years ago scientifically discovered the science of therapeutics is homeopathy, has given complete science. Still more modern medicine is in great confusion, in great dilemma, since still modern medicine still searching for the fact and truth of science. Cure for disease is still far in many instances. Not to critics to the allopathy, but ઘણી વાર પેશન્ટ આપણને પૂછે સર આ સારું થશે, તમારી પાસે આવા કેસીસ છે, દવા છે. So our answer is yes, because allopathy treat the effect, right? Sometimes cause also, but we treat the process. We treat the process of effects, so the effect will nullify. So that is the main difference. We can suggest to the patient that homeopathy restore the sick to the health. Tribute to Master is just follow the qualities of the man, the quality of the successful people, so we can easily reach to the success. He has experimented many things, great literary work, great knowledge, so we have to follow it. The man, of course, sir, Dr. Vijayakar sir, a great physician, Mumbai, or guru, or guide, or philanthropist, physician, even a knowledge, skill, confidence, telling most deadliest disease of the myself, practicing since 15 years. I'm ruling Katargam area.
બધાને આમ કરીને સિગારેટ પીને
So what we have to do exactly in the practice, what I am doing is take a totality. Without the symptom we cannot cure. Probable diagnosis gives the approach to the case, the ideas of pathologies, not itself the pathology but actual the pathological process, what is going on. Certain approach that this has to be done in this case, probable miasm, decide the plan of treatment, management and prognosis. There are many questions in these areas. We are trying to work out what is the pathology now in latest mind of pathology. Certain approaches with pseudosyphilitic case, psychotic case, psychosyphilitic case, frank-syphilitic case. So we according to we go. Problem is that many times we don't have this complete. Sir always said, learn from success also, learn from your mistakes also. Patient just required a maximum required, because we are confronting with many times with the patients. So each case in homeopathy is individual, whatever the name is, but the case is given respect and classify the individual case, whatever the case is according to the present right approach and methodology. Each patient teaches us something unique, grab that opportunity and prescribe. So why differentiation? The subject book નો message ગયો હતો. બાપુ શું કીધું સર? એરોપ્લેન મોડમાં ફ્લાઇટ મૂકી દીધી. એ ગુરુવારે ધમાકો કરવાનો છે. રાઈટ? તો આજે કરી દઈએ. Differentiation of almost 60 to 70 medicines are there in first session. we try to complete maximum. So પ્રેક્ટિસમાં ઘણીવાર પેશન્ટ આવે અને ટોટાલિટી આવી જાય, માઇન્ડમાં એક રેમેડી પણ આવી જાય. એટલે કે ટોટાલિટી સિફિલિસ પણ કવર હોય, ટોટાલિટીમાં જે મેડિસિન ફિટ થતી હોય રેકોર્ડોરિયલ ટોટાલિટીમાં નહીં હોય, રાઈટ? કન્ફ્યુઝન થાય. આસ્ક મોર કે ભાઈ સપોઝ માઇન્ડમાં સલ્ફર છે, પૂછીએ અંગર એગ્રેવેશન છે, અટેચ કરીએ, still that totality sulfur is not seen. So જે પણ ટોટાલિટી હોય તેમાં 10 to 15 medicine are looking very similar, very identical, and we have to prescribe precise in that. That is what the homeopathy stands for, as individualization. Source theory of acutes. Sir is always synchronized, so I had to channelize that from the very beginning. These three are Alan Skinner most clinical materia medica. I use the keyword of this all three materia medicas. Many literatures of Vijayakar sir, perception of Vijayakar sir have taken the basic concept. To remember rule in and rule out, there are certain key points: the cause and effects, the sensitivity and reactions, and the individual trait, means the disposition we add makes that remedy pinpoint and we are very sure of it and we prescribe that. So before differentiation, I thought that some has the base to prescribe. To arrive at the differentiation, we have a good clinical history, good symptoms, even syphilis पण મળી જાય. So what could be the base of prescription? What are the modalities? What are the valued symptoms we take into the totality and then prescribe? To reach at the differentiation, portray the totality and then differentiate. So there are points that we have to look into that. Symptoms, very important. First is confirm SORA or traits. ये આપણને childhood history, past history and family history માંથી મળશે. Each has our individual soric trait. It's a very basic. Patient come to us in that life phase, like he can be defending as a psychotic or he can be defended as a syphilitic, but the soric trait is remain the same. So childhood is very important, like tonsillitis, ulcerative tendencies, bleeding tendencies, repeated falls, repeated specific infection pertaining to the remedy is very key. Certain genetic traits in childhood we have to acquire. So psychotic patient કે syphilitic patient કંઈક અલગ લાગતું હોય. 2 થી 3 રેમેડી મેં સિલેક્ટ પણ કરી છે. SORA, psychotic, syphilitic. It look different because SORA is exactly reverse of syphilis and syphilis is exactly reverse of SORA, right? So syphilitic patient જે દેખાતું હોય, if you identify the childhood, it looks different. So you must be sure of that description. So childhood history is very important. Reaction to particular stimulus, because reaction is individualistic. Mostly the higher is syphilitic, we can take it, make a base of prescription. Reaction, genetic psychosis is facade, but if it is genetic, we can take it. Disposition, mental traits, physical tendencies. Always you have to look. Sir, disposition for clear cut આપેલી છે. Always we have to clear why in disposition. Suppose patient બોલતું નથી, why is not speaking, timid છે, short will છે, anticipatory છે, conscience છે, કે ભાઈ મારા સંસ્કારમાં નથી આવતું, આવે છે એટલે મારે નથી બોલવું. Right? Want to maintain the harmony in environment એટલે નથી બોલવું. બોલવાથી કઈ ફરક નથી પડતો, ઇન્ડિફરન્સ છે એટલે નથી બોલવું. હર્ટ થયું છે, સેડ છે, તકલીફ કોને કેવી એટલે નથી બોલવું. રાઈટ? મોરોસ છે, એંગર, સેડનેસ છે, એંગર પ્લસ સેડનેસ છે, મને તકલીફ થાય છે એટલે નથી બોલવું. પહેલેથી જ ક્વાઇટ છે, રિઝર્વ છે, શાંત છે એટલે નથી બોલતું. Right? So there are many traits. That's why patient is not talking. We have to look for that. Physical tendency, of course, we are taking diathesis. Mother history during pregnancy is very important, especially in genetic or developmental illness. We are taking because every genetic transformation has its own roots. So we are going deeper into that. Investigation, lab data can identify the mind of pathology person as well. So sometimes we don't have the clear-cut history. Very few symptoms, one-sided diseases, where we have very less data. So we analyze the laboratory investigation, the scan reports, and our blood reports, and we reach to particular approach, and then we able to prescribe. This could be a base of prescription. PQRS, the uncommon traits in common findings. દિવસ બહુ સારો જાય, 4 થી 5 પેશન્ટ આવે, PQRS હોય, ખુશ થઈ જાય કે આજે તો બધા PQRS મળી ગયા છે. પેશન્ટ એ ખુશ હોય, તમને સારું થઈ જશે. ફોલોઅપ બહુ રડાવે, બહુ દુખે, સર સારું નથી, અમે કીધું તો સારું તો છે પણ સારું નથી. સો વી કમ્પેર ધી કોમન સોશિયોલોજીકલ ટર્મ, psycho-human behaviors, the common pathological finding, and we have to compare it to the uncommon. That could be the base of PQRS. We have to confirm it is common or not. Of course, PQRS is very specific, and we have to prescribe. Sphere of action, affinity, organ specific. Sometimes we have to prescribe in a very short span in ICU cases where we have very less time. We have to prescribe on pathologies, no case history available, no much data available. So on that we combine the effects, the sphere of action, the pathological process, and we convert into that rubrics and prescribe. Pathological rubric, of course, clinical. Nowadays, me and Dr. Jitubhai treating the case of GBS, where there is no much data available. The young boy is in ICU on ventilation. Currently, we prescribe abiraterone on some basis we discuss. Pathological rubric, ascending paralysis. Could be a base of prescription. Observation, very important, especially in pediatric cases, comatose cases, old age, deaf and dumb, where there is no data available. Right? So we have to observe what is going in the body, because mind and body is the mirror image. And we have to prescribe. What physician feel as a person? SAVJ માં આસિફ સરે કીધું હતું. These are our attributes. So case taking, જ્યારથી patient enter થાય in the waitings, appointments, to the consulting, our case taking would be start. ખાલી પેશન્ટ આવે તો ખ્યાલ આવી જાય, બાર્ગેનિંગ ચાલુ હોય, ઇમ્પેશન્ટ હોય, ઇન્સિક્યોર હોય, કન્સલ્ટિંગમાં તરત આવી જાય, ડિસકન્ટેન્ટેડ હોય, no follow up, no proper follow-ups. So we feel આપણે સારું ફીલ નહીં આવે કે ભાઈ પ્રોપર પેશન્ટ નથી, સો ડિસકન્ટેન્ટેડ હોય. સો એક કન્સેપ્ચ્યુઅલ ઇમેજ ક્રિએટ થઈ જાય બિફોર હિસ્ટ્રી, વેરી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. આફ્ટર કેસ ટેકિંગ પછી પણ કંઈક પ્રિસ્ક્રાઇબ આપણે કર્યું હોય, અને એટ ધ એન્ડ ડેટામાં પેશન્ટ એક ઓબ્ઝર્વેશન આપીને કે કંઈક રિએક્શન આપીને ચાલ્યું જાય. That gives a image that attributes to the prescription for the surety કે ભાઈ આ પેશન્ટ આ છે કે નહીં. Reaction to the disease, very important. Sir says this is miasmatic. Every reaction is different. Stimulus could be the same. Like fright remedies. Suppose patient ने fright થયો તો fright માં reaction બધાનું અલગ અલગ હશે. Some goes panic, some goes very anxious, some will end up in shock, some will cling, some will escape. So how to tackle the disease per mind and body sensitivity is very important because it is individualistic and it could be a base of prescription because every reaction is different. Elements from causative factors and sensitivity, mostly in acutes and sensitivity. We have specific needs. Every individual has his own specific needs. So on that basis we can prescribe. Symptoms, club the common pathological symptoms. In some cases where syphilitic, lots of syphilitic process is going on, like 4 to 5 pathologies is running together, only the pathology is available, no mentals, no basic symptoms is available. So in that syphilitic cases we club the 3 to 4 pathologies, we arrive to 10 to 15 remedies, then we add dispositions, we add some reactions and we prescribe. Therapeutics, yes, experience based, commonly prescribing remedy for cure. Like epidemics, some after years of experience, some remedies are very short of prescriptions. Not necessarily therapeutic, but the indicated remedy will help. That could be a base of prescription. Anti-miasmatic blocks, so nozodes and sarcodes, many authors, many masters have suggested, but it is as per indication. Sometimes we tried so many medicines and there is no favorable reaction. You can prescribe as per indication that particular case. The image of the remedy we discussed, club the mental and physical rubric of the remedies and the study the image comes out of that, you fill in the claims, the traits. Patient परेशान हो जाता है, शांत है, दूसरों को परेशान करता है. What is the image he create in the clinics before the history? Means the extent of anger, the extent of joy, the extent of love, grief, the basic emotions, fear, pride, anxiety, the extent of intellect, the extent of morals and will. So let's start with the sir has synchronized in a very particular fashion in a theory of acute disease. When the stimulus or toxin goes into the brain and patient becomes drowsy, added few more, Ethusa, Sebadilla, Gelsemium, some other drugs. Sir has given opium, Nux mostata, and opium, hot, drowsy, trustless, contention, can goes to bliss, sublime, painlessness, senses alert. Opium drug remedy છે, ખબર જ છે. Many instant drug માટે drug mafia, criminal attributes આપણે યાદ રાખો. એ લોકોનું childhood, so much of issues and crises, struggling, so they don't want to face the reality, they don't want to face the pain. So we have symptoms, fear of sufferings in opium. Sensitivity, frights and fear, very timid. ISIs, generally they are hidden because of their timid characters. So contention, happy in a situation, satisfied people, શાંતિથી વાત કરતું હોય, શાંતિથી પડ્યું હોય, બેઠ હોય. He છે બધું. I'm happy what is going on. Please prescribe. So much anger or some discontent is there. Painlessness, painless psychosis, painlessness of syphilitic symptoms. Rubric છે painlessness of painful complaints. પેશન્ટ 220-110 બીપી લઈને આવે ચાલતું આપણને પેઇન થવા માંડે, પેશન્ટ એમ કે સાહેબ કંઈ તકલીફ છે નહીં, તમે એકવાર બીપી માપી લો. Always check the integrity, why the person is not showing the classical symptoms of severe hypertension. We can take it, but indication is must for that painlessness. Patient is comatose, constipated, contented, happy and satisfied in any situation. Magnesium, complains nothing, wants nothing, drowsy, all the secretion are retained because of paralysis, eyes half closed, this is observation, respiration stutterers, bad feels hot, some feels hard, some feels very hot, reaction lack of. So in the earlier slides I showed that the differentiation is based on the sensitivity, reaction, particular trait. So reaction lack of, painlessness, want of susceptibility of the remedy. Hot patient, unconscious but quick to move when getting consciousness. So sir has clearly classified opium, entimtat and nux mostata. That after awakening, પૂછવાનું કે after awakening means after sleep patient reactions move. Opium generally quick to move, agile, vigilant because inside the timid nature. Nux mostata, historical remedy છે, so fainting, vertigo after waking, generally just faint out. And entimtat is cranky, angry or clinging after waking. So this is a basic difference. All we have. If the patient is discontented, lazy, rule out opium or getting consciousness. Feature of drug is missing means quick brain, agile, extrovert, positive, non-delusion, non-conception. Sir has specifically said viral illness cured by many drug remedies. Brain, higher consciousness. Come to the dose is magnesium. Right? Magnesium is also contented. Emotional affection, mu is for motherly. So more emotional contented is mag mu, motherly nurtured is mag mu. Mag self is contented with himself, logical, scientific band of mind, fatherly. Can be sativa also there, scientific band of mind as per sir. Comatose. Think of any drug remedy when you have opium as means koi पण drug remedy, not only opium means any type of drug remedy which is coming to us, we have to think of. Any question? Magnesium. Sir say black hole medicine છે, opium, sepia, magnesium. Why so much of affinities is there? Because without logic, sir would not say a single word. Sir has said something. Means cosmos ma there is a high electromagnetic field in the vicinity of black hole where the magnesium was found. Very low, deep into the earth, crust, magnesiums are also there. So it is very going into the very deep. Under the magnesium preparation of DNA and RA is also under magnesium. photophosphorylation process આપણે આવતું થાય chlorophyll production of ATP by the phosphorylation under the magnesium. So it gives a greenery to life, right? So that makes the difference in magnesium and natrons, right? We study in natrons what is the basic difference. It looks very identical. So greenness is inert substance. Greenness is liveliness, the life, the substance which gives the life back. So patient may come out of black hole. DNA again life, oxygen is for life and carbon is for death. We also study different carbons also today. So those substances which gives life or which turns the life, very important, especially in the ICU cases. They frequently prescribe opium, CPR, magnesium. Nux moscata, opium is hot, Nux moscata is chilly. Many instances we cannot short of thermals. So it could not be a straightaway prescription for on the thermals. We have many facets of many remedies. We have to identify that. Slow executions, opiums are quick. Fainting because it is a hysterical remedy. So hysterical is a reaction, right? Yeah, contention, disproportionate reaction. Any from cell to tissue to the organs to the traits which is disproportionate, you term as hysterical, right? Gelsemium like, because I added, it is also there in dullness as well as in drowsiness. Dullness, dizziness, drowsiness are out. Trustless, despite dry tongue, they are trustless. Drug-like effects, because it acts on the sensorium. Most dull remedy, remember the D, dullness, dizziness, drowsiness, dryness and debility. Altered sensorium, blackout, hysterical reaction is fainting. So patient MK ke chakkar aave છે. Especially you identify after waking. Absence of mind. ક્યાં છું, શું ચાલે છે, કઈ ખ્યાલ નથી આવતો. We discussed that. Complete irregular menses, therapeutics of Sir Dr. J.J. Patel sir. Many instant irregular is always a syphilitic, no controls, no inhibitions. So hysteria expressed all over the body, not only the mind. We have to identify hysteria on the body as well. Right? Severe PMS, out of control vomiting, severe weakness, severe perspiration, BP shots ups and downs, there is no control over periods. We have rubrics, hysteria during menses, right? All the symptoms which is not in control, right? So you can club that reaction and that phase, hysteria during menses. If comprehension, presence of mind is there, moscata is rule out. સમજાવીએ આપણે એને સમજ પડે, talking to the answer, and we understand that patient is comprehended, oriented, proportionate. Antidote, chilly, trustless, profuse perspiration, because it stimulates the vagus nerve. Reaction is clinging, carried desire to be, crankiness, touch me not, chamomilla, history of asphyxia neonatron. First, that base of descriptions like, right? So in the history we find asphyxia for antidote, severe birth insult, child pale, birth history, very important. Sometimes we forget, right? Because this is a basic trait how the lung develops, and from the first instant lung is damaged and he will be sacrificed to the lung pathology till the death if it is not recovered. Again, chilly, thrustless, drowsiness, debility, perspiration, evasion milk, pneumogastric milk, ipecac. Both are complementary. Ipecac goes to enantium-tart and enantium-tart goes into cuprum. This is a triopsy. Pneumogastric cause spasmodic affection, spasmodic cough, whooping cough, hydrogenate constitution, lot of collection of water, aggravation lung, respiration, lack of reaction in lung disease. So it has a very specific action on the lungs, especially in ICU cases. There is a lung pathology, Lorosaurus esquido and Carabel. Each remedy has its own reaction on. So ultimately you just remember that one line, what is the reaction? So we prescribe many remedies in pneumonias, interstitial lung disease, complicated lung pathologies. We can think of enantium-tart. Tongue thick, white, coated. From observation on that slide, we can confirm. Irritation after gaining consciousness. So this is a particular reaction to the disease or to the stimulus, right? This is individualistic. Scanty discharge, no crankiness, even no clinging. Person angry nothing, clinging nothing. More deeper is antimass because ours goes deeper into the tissues, more syphilitic. Antimony feature is there in borix. It covers emphysema at a point with means concomitant, excessive dyspnea, obvious cough with mucus secretion, worse on eating and lying down, catral pneumonia associated with influenza, flu, most flu virus, myocarditis, heart is also involved, cardiac weakness, pleurisy with left-sided. So left-sided pleurisy may damage the heart with exudation, even pericarditis with effusion. So this is the common lung plus cardiac pathology. We can prescribe enantium-tart. This could be a pathological prescription. So 2 to 3 pathologies is combined.
Loud voice.
Ethusa, hot, thrustless, milk aggravation, milk intolerance, hunger, then vomiting, diarrhea, then prostration, then sleepiness, then again hunger. Mother के दूध पीवे છે, vomiting છે, vomiting करना के झाड़ा करना के એટલું બધું સિવિયર થાય છે, થાકી જાય છે, સૂઈ જાય છે, પાછું દૂધ પીવે છે. This is a characteristic cycle you must remember. Hunger, then executions, then prostration, then sleepiness, then again hunger. Idiocy in children, very dull remedy, incapacity to think, confused like Varita. Milk could be aversion to mother's milk, right? The mind of pathology could be the unwanted pregnancy. I don't want this child. Right? Could be reaction as a aversion to mother's milk. Ethusa could be thought of. Carcinosin could be thought of.
Sir.
Anxious face.
Voice थोड़ा loud
Voice loud रखो.
Anxious face. Tinea nasalis. Herpes, especially on the end of the nose. Complete absence of thrust. Discharge curd like milky white. Mecca, Valeriana. Mecca, Ethusa, both are complementary. Valeriana, hysterical remedy. This cycle is missing. This hunger to prostration to sleepiness, again hunger is missing in Valeriana. Same cord like vomiting. Mother K. Regurgitation of food and hours so after eating in copious greenish vomiting. Epileptic spasms, eyes turns downward. Again observation. You can prescribe in any epileptic or given convulsive cases, especially in child. Can tolerate milk, pull out. comprehension is good, if you counsel, if you interrogate with the child, if you comprehending good, you will love. Case છે બધા high demand. Syndrome છે,
પેલા ઉપર ક્લિક કરવું પડશે.
magical case. I also surprised. Genetic disorder છે. A young adult male come to my clinic referred by one of my GP friend, known relative of me. આખા કોલોનમાં cyst develop થાય by birth, whole colon, small as well as large, and resultant in the intussusception. Intussusception. 2 times operated, major anastomosis, major colonic surgeries. 3rd time he was approached and surgeon says, ભાઈ હવે મારી પાસે કોલમ નથી કાપવામાં. Almost 60 to 70% colon was sacrificed because of this intussusception. There have been severe vomiting, abdominal distension, voice please, diarrhea. Every time intussusception operated, again it comes. Because of vomiting, he just lost the weight, fell or like his constitution. Maximum.
બીજાને ભણાવવાનું.
So, unfortunately, the genetic case is a basic approach. Mother history during pregnancy. He said to say that his mother was not there. Mother was there. The ultimate, the presentation, we have to look into the disposition, the symptoms, the present state of his mind. Colonic chair, so there has to be some issues with brother and sister, family, was anger. Younger brother was about to be married. One girl was selected, but he was not ready. Patient સમજાવે કરી લે મેરેજ બેટર છે, સમજાવે ના પાડે, કરી લે મેરેજ સમજાવે ના પાડે. This is continuously going on. આ એક ટ્રેટ મળ્યો. વર્ક કોઈ કામ થશે કે નહીં, કંઈક નવું શીખવા માટે આગળ નથી વધી શકતો. આવાસમાં ઘર માટે ફોર્મ ભર્યું છે તો લાગે છે કે નહીં લાગે. કંઈક કરવા જાય તો લોકો મારો આત્મવિશ્વાસ તોડી. એની મધરનું એક સપનું હતું કે એક ઘર લેવું છે. સો he applied in the આવાસ. Basically he is very responsible, affectionate, timid guy, sensitive person. So this was the basic what I got. Many remedy prescribed for 6 to 7, 8 months. On the basis of, I also clubbed the pathology, genetic cyst, intussusception, both the pathology are also clubbed, dispositional trait also, but no satisfactory result. Then again I reanalyzed the case. Why so much of insecurity and the flexibility, means there is a looseness of the colon. So after prescription of that remedy, this is the follow-up.
ઓરલી કહી દેજો. કંટ્રોલ પ્લસ એરો કરીને ઉપર કહી દે ને ઓરલી હવે નહીં.
So after prescribing the remedy, no pains, no severe episode of blotting. Sonography. So any inputs? Pradeep? Disposition timid, conscientious, mild, sensitive. Not reacting to the weather. Lack of confidence. Responsible. Multiple 2 to 3 centimeter size, 5 to 6 visible interluminal polypoidal lesion in small bowel. This lesion acts as a lead point leading to the small bowel into susception. This is also after the medication. Patient is free from the clinical sign. No sign of bowel ischemia at present. Polyps are showing strong internal pedicle vascularities. Largest interluminal polypoidal lesion approximately 56 to 36 mm, leading to jejunogastric still intussusception is there. Still intussusception is there. But patient is completely free from clinical attacks. Like 1.5 years. Patient is completely free from symptoms. So what could be the interference? Genetic disease, almost 60 to 70%, the colon is sacrificed. What could be our expectation? I took the rubric molding and prescribed carcinosin on the basis of trade. Like એના બ્રધરનું જે બી ઇન્ફરન્સ હતો એ છોડતો જતો હતો according to the wish of the brother. Not only totally discouraged, but he just moved according to the inference of the brother. Molding as per sir is genetic, syphilitic, and carcinosin. The whole life is goes according to the wish, satisfying the wish of others, and he moves accordingly. In one instant, in the midst of these also come out in the midst of description after carcinosin in some follow-ups. We don't know where it is come from. एक simple this could be exteriorization. Paralumbilical region માંથી એક wound થયું અને ત્યાંથી that GP fellow has sucked that up. Bit suppuration and healed completely. So this has come out from the abdominal wall. Of years pending. Sepadilla, illusionary remedy છે, chilly, trustless, drowsy. Still we are in the dull senses, drowsiness. Sharp periodicity like lycopodium 4 to 8, left to right, better by warm. Lycopodium જેવું જ but chilly lycopodium with left-sidedness, thinking of it aggravate. History of worms. Sepadilla has to be there. Goes to convulsion, delusion and delirium. Rule out if logical, if feels better by counseling. If you counsel the patient, because most in the imaginary, there is a lot of imaginations. So if you counsel the patient will be pacified. Sepadilla. Gelsemium could be chilly, hot, trustless, dullness, dizziness, drowsiness. But there is a lot of anticipations. Ptosis as observation. Gelsemium don't want to see future. That's why the reaction could be a relaxation of muscles. Sepia can't take this miserable, so despair. So I don't want to see. And causticum, very strong authoritative remedy, can't stand injustice. So they can't take injustice, so they don't want to see. As a reaction, they develop ptosis. Sphere of action, cerebellum like nux mostada with heaviness of upper eyelids. Sir has clear-cut given indication, heaviness of upper eyelids. Hysterical, great anticipation, great paralyzer, complete relaxation of muscles. Logeniacy, a shock as a reaction. સાંભળીને સીધું મરી જાય, means sudden collapse. Rubric છે sudden collapse. You can take this in a physical. Because the control is from cerebellum. Muscle refuse to obey the will till the will is strong. That shows incoordination. The motor control from cerebellum. Fear of falling, again fright to lose the balance. Means patient fright you of any frightening event and then goes to loss of balance and paralysis. You may think of Gelsemium. Right? Heaviness of eyelids, incoordination, muscle refuse to obey the will, ptosis, and fright goes to lack of coordination. You can think. Quite wanted to, mentally don't want to move. Physically don't want to move because of motion aggravate bryonia. Physical soreness is arnica. Every tissue is painful for arnica, so they goes to soft places. So this is a quite difference. Mentally thaki gyu, quiet boy. But why these people are quiet, we have to search. Always clear the why. Not only the reaction, go behind the reaction. You come to pinpoint describing. aggravation thinking, quinine, very toxicity, quinine, tobacco, surprise, because they can't take that frightening things. Argentum and gelsemium. Argentum reaction is excitement out of that. Gelsemium reaction is dull. Right? So dullness plus argentum, nitricum is gelsemium. Rule out if the patient is very active. A coordination, heaviness of eyelid, no anticipation. Belladonna, chilly, thrustless, dull. The reaction is violent and sudden. I said in earlier slide, the reaction is individualistic. Violence has to be in anywhere. If this is a key word for any remedies, you apply to the cell, the defense of the cell, the tissues, mental attributes, the organ reaction, the genetic reaction. It could be a violent like stroke, aconite. Try of delirium after avtu. Belladonna, hyoscyamus, tremonium. All the combination is in veratrum. Right? But veratrum has coldness. Angel when well, devil when sick. Craves lemonade. Chilly, trusty, escapism. Use violence as a defense. Because there is a rush of adrenaline, tremendous outburst of energies. Stimulation of vagus goes to sudden, violent, destructive, spasmodic congestion of any type of inflammation. Means anywhere in inflammation, if suddenness is there, face, gestures, pathologies, you can prescribe. Panic in general means yes, every type of fears, but only to darkness is pneumonia. Only to darkness. This is basic. In my thought process, generally belladonna has vascular attributes, means vascular, blood vessels, cardiovascular, right? Sudden shock. So more pathological case, more syphilitic case, more fast moving syphilitic case, belladonna. Stramonium in the midst, more neurological, because fright goes to nerve stimulation, more neurological, where belladonna is vascular. Hyoscyamus, more neurotic, non-inflammatory type of reaction. Hyoscyamus house. Every stimulus goes to out of control, especially of psychic character. Means hysteria, insanity. So hyoscyamus is, in my instance, more of sorosyphilitic. Means any stimulus or any fright goes to delirium, non-inflammatory type. Hysteria, and in stramonium, physiopathological case, right? More of neurotic case. So this is a basic difference. So in more the pathological case, where the structural changes are there, fast moving case, belladonna could be thought of, with all the symptoms of solenicity. All have violence, all has the sudden impact, the shock, sensitive to fright, fast moving cases, they have less time to prescribe. So you must remember. Blue eyes, wildness, wild eye, quick gestures, again the sudden, the expression of sudden, quickness. It could be very quick pathologies. Strength in throats. Asif sir kiddu tu, child cries for same voice for 2 months. Strength in throats. Frivolous, casual चलता है, basic disposition, tit for tat, devil and angel. So in between devil and angel, कि भाई बच्चों एकदम सारू तो suddenly what happens, God knows. So that sudden change, you can think of belladonna. Vascularity, so plethoric, there is a redness, lively and treating when well, violent and often delirious when sick, light hair, blue eyes, fine complexion, delicate skin, sensitive to draftiness, quick and sudden, short attacks cause redness of the face and eyes. So this is a reaction. With some vascularity is involved. Violent delirium, disposition to bite, spite and strike. Stramonium, bite and spite and strike per se, but in mix there is a clinging also. Belladonna don't have, because you want to just strike. Right? Because the stramonium reaction is panic, so they want to cling. Breaks into the fits of laughter, gnashes the teeth, want to bite, strike. Tries to escape, hot head, painful, face plus, eyes wide, pupil dilated. In comatose cases, pulse is full and bounding, again the storm-like effects. Sleepy but cannot sleep. Comes suddenly, head hot, fits cold. So uneven circulation. This is the expression of syphilis. Rush of blood to the head and face. So the first reaction is the redness of the face. Red eye. Amyl nitrate, glonoine, melilotus. So this has very vascular impact, vasomotor system per effection. Amyl nitrates, glonoine and melilotus. Glonoine is hot, belladonna is chilly. Headache, congestive with red face, again vascularity, throbbing of brain and carotids. On observation, in very syphilitic cases, you can find the full bounding pulse, a throbbing of carotid, very high tensile vessels, aggravation from slight jar, noise and motions, least exertion, boring the head into the pillow. Vertigo, this is the keyword of Allen's. This is a most of, if you want to prescribe and differentiate, just read Allen's. Under the which line hoy, but that is syphilitic expression of that remedy. Right? Mostly genetic, because it covers the pathology as well as that dispositional trait, mental or physical. Vertigo when stooping or rising after stooping, on every change of position. Vasomotor affection, so any change of position, vertigo. Abdomen is tenderness, distended, aggravated by least jar. So most congestive remedy. Skin dry, burns, smooth, red like scarlet. Streptococcal infection. If you look at the skin, which is very smooth, strawberry type, red, strawberry tongue out of it. Belladonna. So it is a redness, suddenness, violence, all the expression of that destructiveness on the body as well as on mind. So belladonna is vascular, violent, sets in vascularity, syphilitic, more pathological, vascular collapse. So violence sets in vascularities. Stram is neurological, neuromuscular, ganglionic, psychosyphilitic, so more of physiopathological. Now goes to neurospasm to paralysis. Because they just shock and get on into paralysis. Alzheimer's, neurotic, psychological, emotion goes to delirium, so more sorosyphilitic. Right? Non-pathological cases where emotions, sudden emotion goes to the delirious state, or any infection goes to delirious state. Stramonium, chilly, thirsty, dull, fear of darkness, clinger. Belladonna react to all the fears, while stramonium is only to darkness. Right? Fear, fright, phobia, panic. Reaction is clinging. Reaction if restless, point to the death, execute or confess the time of death with fear of death is aconite. In fear and fright, want consolation, phosphorus pulsatility. So one goes to the drive, that restlessness, one goes to the consolation, and one goes to the panic or clinging. Threats to alert रहते to combat the terror, intellectual and fast. So imminent threat, imminent danger, one has to be very vigilant, one has to be very alert. So very wild, open eye, watchfulness. Everybody has his watchfulness, but the drug remedy, the Ophidian remedy, the solenacy, watchfulness is different. Right? Ophidia has watchfulness because they have fear. Somebody is pursuing from behind, means insecurity from behind. Right? And Stemonium has the shock from the outside. Theme of sudden threat, danger from anywhere, any terrifying event, he goes into shock. Delusion alone being wilderness, lost in the wilderness. The reaction is wild, open, brilliant eye. Astonished થઈ જાય. What is happening? Clinging, attached, that gives the highest comforts. Clinging to the ideas, symptoms, issues, system. The tissue keloids is also clinging. Some pathologies is continuously stick together in one point. So are usually prescribed on clinging basis. A constant, एक side pain range, a constant, not going, only that pain point. It could be a reaction as a clinging. साहब आ दुखावा छोड़तो જ નથી. Like patient reaction. Fear, fright, lost the control. Stemonium is religious. It has religious attribute. Belladonna is not. Praying, beseeching, entreating with suppressed discharge. So this could be a reaction of that case. If patient is praying, beseeching, entreating with the suppressed discharge, with his concomitant always, with his concomitant. So if you find it, this type of observation. So again I repeating, sensitivity, reaction, particular trait of tissue, observation, miasmatic attributes is a key pointer to prescribe and differentiate each individual remedy. Eye wide open, you should be more vigilant for sudden danger from anywhere. Right? So you should be very vigilant. Vigilant are an officer. Somebody is coming. Immediate threats. So while in Ophidia, the insecurities from behind, some threat is there. In drug, they don't want to face the pain and suffering. So the fear of great suffering, especially fear of extravagance. Fear of extravagance માં આપણને opium છે. Right? So they don't want to face the reality. They don't want to face the pain because in drugs, either they want to seek the pleasure for a time being or they just want to cut off the pain because their childhood is so notorious, their childhood is so abusive, so struggling. That's why these people are going into these antisocial activities, mostly drug mafias, criminal, right? જ્યાં પેન હોવો જોઈએ ત્યાં નહીં હોય. Like in labor, you are supposed to be a painful, but there is no pain. Right? I don't have the pain bearing capacity. Caesar Karnako, there are many attributes of ladies because they don't want to face the pain. It could be a drug attribute. Convulsion with consciousness if the patient is conscious. Stemonium. Convulsion without consciousness is belladonna. Relieved by sight of bright lights. So this is a sensitivity, physical sensitivity. Many times we are missing because What the sensitivity felt in the body, that is also felt by the mind. Mind sensitivity also felt by the body. So mind and body is speaking the same language. It's a mirror image. Right? So any physical cause or physical symptom can turn the mind. Many times we think that mind has changed the body, but body can also change the mind. We have to look both the sides. Mirror, water, again a sensitivity, rabies, belladonna, lysine, stramonium. More want of light because they hates the darkness. Fear of darkness is stramonium. More want of darkness because they have aggravation from lights is belladonna. Basic difference. Aconite, જેવું લાગે sudden, but the prediction and precision of it with time is very important. Fear of death, shock, elements from fright, shock, sudden. The reaction is panic. Here they are restless. Stramonium is clinging. Here is also suddenness, pain with high fever. So it's a combination of belladonna as well. There is a congestion, sudden storm-like effect. Chilly patient, oversensitive to touch, cold and pain. But the prediction of any kind of intuition is very high. When toxins or any stimulus goes to the brain, this particular individual goes into clairvoyance. A very high intuitive and generally of correct, like medorinum. Prediction and precision of time. So there goes with the time. कि भाई अपना नंबर आ गया है, सबको बुला लो. Right? Clairvoyance. Alzheimer's, chilly, trusty, dull, quick, witty, jesting. Every time we not see, but this is a basic trait. Sexuality. Sexuality is very important. Very obscene character. Everything is opened up. Open wounds, open tissues, open pathologies, open mental attributes. Everywhere openness, you can enter into the Alzheimer's. Jealousy, paranoid, suspicious, like ophidia, violent outburst. It is also vegetable lachesis, loquacity or silent disposition, extreme shamelessness and shame. આપણને ફીલ આવે, મેં કીધું ને પેશન્ટ આવે તો આપણને ખ્યાલ આવે. The conceptual image when patient enter into, that is also part of your entry point. Means patient does not have that particular sense. Fumbling with hands, playing with the fingers, picking at the clothes is because they have nerve irritations. Twitching, jerking, cramps. Dry spasmodic cough, lying down, better by sitting erect. History of person become delirious in acute episode. In the past history, they easily go into the delirium. Simple fever or a minor infection immediately goes into delirium. Patient history આપે કે સાહેબ માંડ બચ્ચા કંઈ થયું હતું, ખબર નહીં શું થયું હતું, મગજમાં કંઈ ચડી ગયેલું અને પછી પાછા આવ્યા છીએ. So they easily goes into delirious state. High cerebral activity of non-inflammatory type, clear-cut indication, basic, a single line difference, but we have to look so many things while prescribing. Not only in this one line, because mania or urea conversion covered by other remedies also. He says this word is given by master, so it is as written. Non-inflammatory, more choice of Alzheimer's. Unfortunate love with jealousy, with rageness, with is again a concomitant. Incoherent speech, inclination to laugh at everything. The situation when there is no matter of laugh, but they are laughing. Unfortunate love could be a sensitivity that patient goes to the pathology. Sexuality, slip neck. In the history, patient nahi came, but some other family member can slip neck, immodest, always expose this third person. Open kind of nanga karne wala. bad moral remedies. Fear, most imaginary poisoning, conspiracy like of high suspicion, people making plots. So કોઈ પણ અજાણી વસ્તુ કે વ્યક્તિનું ખાસે કે લેશે નહીં, રાઈટ? એસેલ આપો બચ્ચાને, ડાયરેક્ટ નહીં લે, મધરને હાથમાં આપો તો બચ્ચું લેશે. મીન્સ they feel safe, they feel secured. So we can make the inference of it કે patient attributes કેવું, even in the child also. They feel like poisoning, they feel like something fishy, they look into. They lost the control in acute, especially septicemia, lack of modesty, Alzheimer's. If the modesty is maintained, plus Alzheimer's is Rustox. But the Rustox reaction is restlessness, right? The sexuality is missing. All the energy of mind and body in the manipulation, deceiving is lackses. So there is attributes of poisoning, conspiracy, suspicious, આ બધું મળે. So the Alzheimer's, Rustox and Ophidian qualities, but Alzheimer's is lack of modesty, Rustox is there is veneration, there is respect, and lackses is manipulation. વાતને તોડ તોડ. In the circle of belladonna, Alzheimer's, tremonium, veratrum, phosphorus and again. So basic try of delirium, the mind is disturbed so much in acutes, mostly in acutes. In a chronic there is a mania, psychopaths, and some many syphilitic psychological disease, pathological disease. We can goes to this solenacy, belladonna, tremonium, Alzheimer's. Veratrum, chili, trusty, dull, also hot, haughty when sick, lycopodium. When they are sick, they become haughty, excessive restlessness, ambition, every possible means employed, tremendous chilliness, local or general coldness, particular part पर જ coldness હોય, syphility, coldness partial, coldness to the pinpoint, coldness in the spot, excessive evacuation, lot of perspiration, cold sweat, especially on forehead. Loves cold and chilled floor. बच्चों cold and chilled floor पर सोए because they love the coldness. Craving for sour, salty, cold drinks. Desire for cold, refreshing things. But they are very showy. They are very haughty in terms. They are blunt. They tell the truth. Very frank first word. But जो ने होए तो बोविस्टा confusion. They are confused. KM करीले copy and paste is alumina, and tarantula. Truth is embarrassing to everybody. They tell the highest secret. Complete prostration, collapse, cold perspiration on the forehead. On the entire body is tabacum. On the entire body. Veratrum જેવું જ, right? Tobacco can cause vasovagal. So cold, collapse and perspiration with nearly all the complaints, but the entire body is tabacum. Tabacum shock from least exertion. Patient 2-4 પગલા આપણે ચલાવીએ તો શ્વાસ ચડે છે, suddenly collapse, right? So it is more of cardiovascular, but veratrum is not there. Veratrum has coldness of perspiration on forehead, not the entire body, and there is no shock from the slightest walk or slightest exertion. This is given in Allen's. Mania in all form. Belladonna, Alzheimer's, tremonium is violence is there, sexuality is also there, religiousness is also there, and some other attributes of coldness and collapse you can describe. Veratrum. Face is pale, blue, collapse, shock-like effects. Features are sunken, Hippocratics. Red while lying, become pale on rising up, aconite. craving for acid refreshing juicy things. But acid force is not that haughty or showy in reactions. Icy coldness on particular pain point, syphilitic, violent vomiting with profuse diarrhea. Profuseness of diarrhea and vomiting is veratrum. Scantiness with shock is camphor. Scantiness with shock, scanty diarrhea, scanty vomiting. There is little bit, but patient end up in shock. Very alternating state, very sensitive to touch is camphor. Chili, camphor. Right? Arsenic, also collapse, some collapse remedies. Chili, thrustless, desire for warmth, prostration out of proportion to the mental illness, mentally restless, sharp aggravation, syphilitic, 12 to 2, it could be midnight or midday. Medorinum, ophidia-like quality but timid, they are slow, very intrusive, very timid. A state of polyps, want to be fed all the times. Polyps ma compose air in motion, they require carbon, lachesis. Fresh air, skin cold, it throw off the covering. Camphor, sickle. Because internally they feel very hot, skin is cold, right? Veratrum is chilly. Cold, bath with cold perspiration, veratrum, tabacum. So they are very identical to each other, but pinpoint differentiation. In a shock or polyps, we have very less time to prescribe. So what the body is telling is very important. Sometimes mind is not there, the mental rate is not there. Time is very less in this type of collapse condition, right? So we have to pinpoint on the physical. Medorinum, anticipate the death, always anticipating, feels the matter most sensitively before they can occur. They know that after 5 days or after 6 days I may feel or I may become ill, and ખરેખર એવું બને because they anticipate many things. Nervous constitution, psychotic, so they have very heightened intelligence. To cover up their weakness, so they become this. Inspiration smooth, expiration is difficult and desperate. Right? So they have a very good inspiration, but expiration is difficult and desperate. Sambucus. Medorinum and Sambucus. So we also have to look at the respiration, a chief guiding indication in acute alarming in emergencies, because life is at respiration, right? So any changes in the respiration is life-threatening, or any change after medication, you first have to look the life is coming or not. Most dangerous life-threatening pathology is reverse or not. Most life-threatening symptom is reverse or not. In acute cases, you have to look for. If it is reverse, your remedy is right. So in ICU cases, you have to think what is most life-threatening. That we have to tackle first, and it has to be reverse. Right? Cargo waves, we see in carbons. Again, ICU remedy, acute remedy. Lachesis, soft purplish hue, because they use poison as a defense, poisoning as a defense. Okay? So in many rubric, delirium from sepsis, many ophidias are there. So purplish hue, violet hue is poisoning. Choking and constrictions. They choke easily. ગળામાં કંઈક ચેસ્ટમાં કંઈક થાય છે, they just choke. Is classic sensation of ophidia. Camphor, again I stated scanty discharge. Profuse discharge is veratrum. Scanty is camphor. Oversensitive alternating states. Tabacum, symptoms occur in paroxysm. Asthma, sick headache. Everything turn into the paroxysm. Comes and goes, comes and goes. Tabacum. vertigo, sneezing, sick headache, asthma. Is asthma gone, sick headache comes, headache better, vertigo comes, vertigo better, breathing difficulties comes out. Everything turned into the paroxysm is tabacum. Collapse with violent vomiting, death like કે ભાઈ જીવે છે કે ગયું patient by the family member instant, sudden collapse, coldness of the whole body, aggravation from least motion. So tabacum has to do with the motions, right? Better by cold, fresh air. Terrible, faint, sink feeling at the pit of the stomach. પેટમાં કઈ અજીબ થાય છે, અજીબ સિંકનિંગ, એમ્પ્ટી ફીલિંગ, એકદમ જ કંઈક લોચા વળે છે. ઇટ્સ ટેરિબલ. હા, જીવ મૂંઝાય છે, કંઈક કંઈક થાય છે, કંઈક ડેસ્પરેટલી સમથિંગ ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ઓન ઇન ધ એબ્ડોમેન, right? Because something has stimulated the vagus nerve and patient can goes into the vagal hypotonia. Solenacy, vagus to brain, severe vasovagal shock, as tobacco would do, almost death-like. But appearance, death-like appearance, very death-like pallor and vertigo. Patient के पहला चक्कर आया પછી પડી ગયું. Vertigo with death-like pallor. Tobacco. Obviously missed out remedy, lesser prescribed. We have to look in the collapse, shock-like emergency medicine, such type of pathology. Eupatorium, chilly, frosty, dullness. One of the great flu remedy. Moaning from pain. કકળતું હોય. Moaning is as a reaction. Deep muscle and bone pain. આપણને ખબર છે. Bone pain is eupatorium. Restlessness as a reaction. Has to move to relieve the soreness. Physical pain. Relief કરવા માટે they become restless. Although the motion aggravates. Exactly reverse of bryonia, they want quiet and motion. Postponing temperature. Hysteria with homesickness, read and suggested by Dr. Jitu sir. Their repertory, hysteria with homesickness. Right? One is emotion, other is reaction. So restlessness to relieve the soreness, although motion does not relieve. Bryonia has motion aggravation because they want absolute repose and rest, right? Because bryonia has the kya effect है bryonia? Mucous membrane, right? So in between the mucosa there is complete dryness. Bryonia is dryonia, right? Complete dryness. Friction of both the motion gives severe pain. Slightest motion aggravate, it's a keynote. સાહેબ હલાતું પણ નથી. ઇન્જેક્શન મારવાની તો ક્યાં કોશિશ કરો, હલાતું પણ નથી. એટલો બધો સિવિયર પેઇન છે, right? They are still in bed. They are completely still in bed. Whatever pathology, bryonia could be a choice of, right? Aching in bone, chilly, desire for cold drinks, ice cream. Chill beginning in the small of the back, scanty perspiration. Headache by vomiting of bile and many instant in migrainous headache. Mostly in the female we see that અમુક લોકો વોમિટ કરી નાખે અથવા અમુક લોકોને વોમિટિંગ થઈ જાય. At the height of the headache, this could be a keynote. Headache by vomiting of bile, by conversation. વાત કરતી કરતી માથું ચડ્યું છે, વોમિટ કર્યા. Alan Skinner. Tarantula is restless because of excited nerves. Pains feel better. Rhythmic motions like dancing, but again it aggravates. Husband કહે કે એરોબિક્સ અને સવારે એરોબિક્સમાં જાય છે તો પેઇન નથી થતું. સાંજે મારી સાથે ગરબામાં કે ચાલવા આવે તો પેઇન નથી થતું. દિવસે એને કંઈક પ્રોબ્લેમ આવે છે, કામ નહીં કરવું હોય. They have excited nerves and this excessive dancing and vigorous motion soothes the nerve, but again it collapses because they have excited nerves. So vigorous motion ameliorate, then again it aggravates. Tarantula. Rustox has also restlessness, but they have a stiffness, right? So as a mind of pathology, they feel restricted, constrained. Now in the psychotic world, there is a charm of libertinism, right? So they want liberty. That's why they have a relief from motion. Bryonia has aggravation from motion. Is restless because his absolute relief the stiffness. Right? Want liberty. Anacardium, same family. The cause of pain. Any relaxation nahi hoy. They feel restricted. They feel stiffened up, and it causes the pain. So liberty is an issue in anacardiacy. The pain, Rustox, anacardia. While there is excitement, the excitement, little bit excitement means what? The twitching. Little bit excitement and twitching is what? They want small happiness, like dancing, right? They are timid constitution, but they are very manipulative, like Upidia, very intelligent. ઘરમાં જ્યારે authorities હશે ત્યારે કોઈ લિબર્ટીની ઇશ્યુઝ કે કઈ એની પોતાની ડિઝાયર બહાર નહીં આવે, બટ જ્યારે ઓથોરિટી નહીં હોય, they have the excitement, right? Because they are timid in nature. So they goes to small kiki parties and then come up. Again some authority comes, they become silent. So this small twitching is also their search for small happiness. Twitching is small excitement, such excitement. Right? Little joy. Secret should not come out. Bryonia quite absolute red without moves of single pain point. Phytoleca, Bryonia plus Rustox like modality, mostly forgotten. Bryonia is usually prescribed, Rustox is usually prescribed. Glandular, more affection, glandular. So Bryonia plus Rustox modality is Phytoleca. Nux vomica, chilly, thirsty, dull, ardent character. Everything is in particular. Right? Angry, time passes too slowly. They are very inurgent, always in impatience. Achievements, everything is in hooks and crooks. Right? Everything is in hooks and crooks. જોઈએ જ કંઈક ને કંઈક. So in money instant જોઈએ તો Nux vomica is a money-minded remedy, but Bryonia is typical calculation. Bryonia is typical money-minded, business-minded remedy, while Nux vomica has issue with the achievement. Nux vomica has issue with the achievement. They can't achieve, they are frustrated. Pulsatilla is also money-minded. Pulsatilla is also business-minded, but Pulsatilla is self-centered, selfish. सब कुछ मेरा है. અત્યારે daughter ની marriage અને father ની properties. Right? Very selfish, very self-centered. Right? So Nux vomica has issue with the achievement. Pulsatilla has issue with the self. They are very selfish. Veratrum is also business-minded, very money-minded remedy, but they are very showy. They want to show the wealth, right? They want to show the wealth. So more the money, they better socially placed. The social position is for Veratrum. They are very ambitious. They have a good intellect, bad morals, so they are achievers. They are achievers. They also achieve by hooks, so that they are better socially placed. So they want to be wealthy. So veratrum is for wealth, social placement. Lycopodium is also a money-minded, business-minded remedy, but Lycopodium has the dilemma of timidity and domination, lack of self-confidence and execution. So the Lycopodium issue is the logical executes. Lycopodium is logical executes. Soft with superior, hard with inferior. So Lycopodium વિચારીને પૈસા વાપરશો, right? They are not showy, they are intelligent, they are intellectual, they have a fear behind, they have a lack of confidence in investing in risk. Veratrum has not. Veratrum is showy, Veratrum is extravagant, right? While Lycopodium is average. Soranum also money-minded, but Soranum has actual delusion of poor. Delusion is poor. Avarice though prosperous, fear of poverty though prosperous. રૂબ્રિક છે કે ભાઈ આને એની જરૂર છે, બધું છે છતાં બી બધું જોઈએ છે, પૈસા છે છતાં બી they are looking for money. Soranum is each mites, na? What each mites do? Scabies, sarcoptes, scabies. They make a burrow, they're going into the linear digging, na? So they are very insecure. They are continuously digging despite shelter. They are continuously digging the linear scabisma. So despite sheltering, they continuously dig out. That makes very insecure remedy. So Soranum could be a remedy of hepatocellular carcinoma, where the liver is damaged. Liver is for starvation. તો પૈસા છે છતાં બી હજી ભૂખ છે. Actually delusion of poor. So these are all money-minded remedy. Strong urge, ineffectual urge for stool and urine, constant concomitant with any pathologies. So this is a delirium which is expressed in the body, ineffectual, constant urge. It could be a labor, it could be a renal stone, it could be any pathology where there is a constant concomitant. They are fastidious, they are meticulous, they are malicious also, ambitious, violent. Early morning, chilly, craving for stimulant, cramp state, everything is business. So hot nux vomica is ferrum sulf, ferrum iod, acid flow, apis and bryonia. Life is a war, winning battle and achievement. They employ every means to get success. So bryonia is actually a calculation. Business, on pure calculation and pure business, bargaining, money is earning, right? For bryonia, Pulsatilla is selfish, Veratrum is want social placement, Soranum is actual delusion poor, Sepia is also money-minded remedy but more of materialistic concept. Sepia money-minded because of materialistic concept. Do routine daily affairs, routine domestic abuses and waste. So they have pure materialistic concepts. छोटी-छोटी बात पे पैसे जा रहे हैं. Sepia. Lycopodium, intellectual executes. Sulfur is also money-minded, but sulfur just thinker. बस just पैसा वालों बनવું છે. These are the words. They are not executors. While Veratrum is executors. both are showy, both want social placement, socially position કે ભાઈ પૈસા હોય તો લોકો પૂછશે, રાઈટ? પૈસા હોય તો આપણે ઊભા રહી શકીએ બે માણસોની વચ્ચે. ઇટ્સ અ ડિગ્નિટી. બટ Veratrum is showy. Sulfur is also showy, but they are executor. Veratrum is executor, while sulfur is only a thinker. Sulfur is only a philosopher. Sulfur has only the ideas. Right? Metals is also money-minded. પૈસા છે તો વેલ્યુ છે, પૈસા છે તો ડિગ્નિટી છે, પૈસા છે તો ચાર્મ છે, right? So more the money, high value of the necklace, right? First is argentum, then platina, aurum. Higher the value, higher the praising necklace, right? So they have issues with the dignity and egos. Right? Dignity in the paisa છે તો value થશે. But they earn the money by the very organized way, very diligent way, very methodical way, logical way. They earn the money, they are successful. So this is the basic difference of most money-minded remedy. China, chilly, trustless, dull, bleeder, expressive. Bleeder means everything is expressive, right? Everything is coming out. Bitter substance, no one. So bitterness is everywhere. It could be a bite, it could be a taste, it could be the embitteredness in emotions, it could be a hatred as a reaction. So bitterness is the source substance. Feels frustrated. So you remember F, flatulence, fruit desire, frustrated, frowning, flatulence. Fluid loss, right? Flatulence, fiery. This is also money-minded remedy, but trifle loss, small deplets land up in severe prostration. So small lucrative benefits, small lucrative loss, small lucrative position affect these people very effectively, very much, right? Lucrative loss, fear of lucrative position. Money sense no rubric છે, right? Benefits. Small loss affects profoundly. Severe weakness હોય ને ચાઇનામાં. Again they are fiery, right? So you remember the F. Frustrated, face પરથી જ ખબર પડી જાય. Reverse frowning. Loss of vital fluids. So the reaction is exhaustion, weakness. There are many remedies for loss of vital fluids like acid force, arsenic, but reaction is very important. Loss of vital fluids પછી એનું reaction શું છે? Is it agile? It is unconscious? Shock માં છે? Active છે despite weakness? So reaction tells you the remedy. Excessive blotting, again flatulence. Most surgical abdomen where there is excessive blotting, post-operative gas complications, post-operative anesthetic complications, excessive bloating of whole abdomen, clarity of mind and abundance of ideas and plans in everything and nights. So પૂછવાનું કે રાત્રે કઈ કરો છો તો કે yes I am just doing નવા નવા વિચાર મને આવે and I am planning for it. Oversensitivity of senses, vegetable remedy છે. Chili platina is China and ipecac. Ipecac has more of nausea, so disgust is more prominent in ipecac, while discontent, torment is more, persecution is more prominent in China. So in psychosyphilitic cases, dissatisfaction goes to discontent. Sir no case હતો બસરે ચાઇના લીધે. Torment. Kalis, they are just complaining and nagging. Complaining में आता है, आसिफ सर ने बोला. Kalin. China in face much deeper hypersensitivity. China face પરથી જ ખ્યાલ આવી જાય. Ammonium is also there in reverse frowning. EPK bleeding with difficult respiration, concomitant, because EPK again stimulate the vagus nerve like antipyretic, right? So any small droplets or any small bleeding or any small hemorrhage immediately disturb the dyspnea. Even anemia also cause these things. So EPK, arnica, chilly, trustless, dull, fear of being approached, bed feels hard, very painful. First remedy you can think of the elements from financial loss. Money is a shock for arnica patient. Fear of being touched or being approached. So they are very painful remedy. Many times we are used. Head is hot, body is cold, syphilitic, offensive discharge, sepsis, mechanical injury.
Next time.
Shall we close, Dr. Ramesh?
Very nice differentiation. As we started, it started with the remedy which are dull and drowsy, like opium and moscheta and gelsemium. So you can differentiate it whenever your patient is in ICU or whenever any acute cases are coming. Followed by there are medicines from Solanaceae family like belladonna, stramonium. Then tabacum is also from the Solanaceae family, which we have differentiated in that collapse conditions remedy. We have differentiated veratrum, with large stool, large quantity of water they required, and camphor, the reverse. There is scanty stool, coldness of body, followed by tabacum, having a paroxysmal vomiting and deathly nausea, and followed by money-minded remedy. So these are the sets of remedy which you think of whenever your patient is coming. So this will be very handy. So we will continue this will be on next Thursday. Thank you very much.
It was very nice lecture. મજા આવી અને આપણે આજના લેક્ચરમાંથી એક વસ્તુ શીખ્યા કે એઝ અ હોમિયોપેથ, એઝ અ પ્રેડિક્ટિવ હોમિયોપેથી અને હાઉ વી હેવ ટુ એપ્રોચ ધ કેસ, what we believe, what we understand, what we analyze, and what is our base of the prescription. That should be quality of the predictive homeopathy. And I have witnessed one cases of the GBS, what in starting Dharmesh has mentioned, it was the case of the GBS. તો એ છોકરાને 2 દિવસ પહેલાં ઝાડા થયા એટલે જીપી પાસે જઈને એને ઝાડાને ઉલટી થતી એટલે તપાસ કરી તો એમાં એવું એન્ટ્રાઇટિસ, ટાઇફલાઇટિસ, એન્ટ્રાઇટિસ અને ઇલિયોસિકલ પર ઇન્ફ્લામેશન ને સચ એબ્ડોમિનલ પેઇન ત્યાંથી શરૂઆત થયું. ઓફિસથી આવ્યો એટલે એને દવા લીધી. બીજા દિવસથી એને પગમાં વીકનેસ આવીને રેસ્પિરેટરી અરેસ્ટ થઈને હોસ્પિટલાઇઝ થયો. ડાયગ્નોસ વોઝ ધ GBS. ઇમ્યુનોગ્લોબ્યુલિન ઇન્જેક્શન 3-4 આપ્યા. એટલે જ્યારે હું ધર્મેશની હારે જોવા ગયા ત્યારે ધર્મેશ સેડ કે બાપુ, ઇન ધીસ કેસ વોટ હેઝ હેપન, ઇન્ફ્લામેશન હેઝ સડન ટ્રાવેલ ટુ ધ એન્ડોડર્મ ટુ ન્યુરો. So this was the discussion in the ICU in front of the intensivist. So what you are talking, we are talking in terms of the homeopathy. We are believing in the process where the inflammation has started and where it landed up. Abrotenum is the drug of the choice. Abrotenum 1 hourly it was given and he is responding wonderfully, marvelously within 24 hours. In this case, inflammation has a metastasis from one organ to another organ, one layer to another layer, and it was from endoderm to direct neuro, and this was the syphilitic metastasis of the inflammation.
In that carcinosin case, that carcinosin case, the learning was it is purely surgical case, intussusception, young adult male responsible family member. First was it was very tricky to handle this case because it was already intussusception, highly flexible intestine with polypoidal growth, where there is no actual colon. 2 surgeries operated. After carcinosin, the stitches also come up, exterioration also come up. Patient is clinically better, but in sonography, still intussusception is there. So, sir has said we can put the person into the sauropsychotic state. That is what the life is. A bound of soric plus little bit of psychosis is sauropsychotic state. That is what the life is. That is what the life runs. Much sora, less of syphilis. Much of life with less of growth is sauropsychotic state. That's what the restoration with puts. So sir used this as a compensatory cure. Pradeep, this is compensatory cure as sir mentioned in his book. So ઘણીવાર પેશન્ટ એમ કહે કે સર આ કેસમાં કશું થશે, કોલોન નથી, 2 times operated, પાછી સર્જરી કરવી પડશે, surgeon is not helping, right? After carcinosin, still sonography is showing intussusception and polypoidal growth. That is the genetic attributes. But patient is clinically free from this. We have long-term follow-ups. Patient better છે છતાં બી we need to have long-term follow-ups. બરાબર? ગમે ત્યારે કોઈ પણ સોરિક સ્ટિમ્યુલસ આવશે તો patient immediately land up in syphilitic phase. Right? Carcinosin again will help. Complementary of carcinosin again could be anything. But patient is clinically free. That doesn't mean that carcinosin has worked magically. But we have to have, in this type of cases, for compensatory cure, you have a long-term follow-ups to save the life. Sir, use this as a compensatory cure. કે ભાઈ હું તને maximum quality of life પર મૂકી શકીશ. That is what the homeopathy can do.